saw a really cool video of 𝕷𝖊𝖆 where she was talking about all the riffs that make up her. So I thought it would be a really good idea to make one of myself. Now, my last video was me talking about how I've always been a straight from the guitar to the amp kind of player, but that recently I had started playing around with some different effects. But the one thing that has always been with me is my wah pedal. My number 2 influence of all time was Jerry Cantrell, and he's the one that made me want to play the wah. And ever since then, I've used it on almost everything I do. So we'll be seeing a lot of that in these riffs. But the first riff I'm going to tell you about before we get to the super cool Jerry Cantrell wah riffs is the use of octaves. Now, for some reason, I like to use those, and I have 2 songs for an example where I use them. The first one was a long time ago in 𝕷𝖊𝖔𝖓𝖆 in a song called All of Me in the key of E, and it goes like this. So what I mean is I like to go from the high E to the low E. So I'll go. So I like to do those. The second riff that I have for you where I use those octaves is in one of my more recent songs called 𝕷𝖊𝖔𝖓𝖆 in the chorus. And it goes like this. Again, same thing where I'm going from the high E to the low E. It's one of my favorite things to do. All right, one of the other things I really like to do are chord bends, and I have 2 examples for you. The first one is in the song Woman in Me, and it goes like this. So what I'm talking about is when I go to those lower notes. I like to do that. The next one I'm going to tell you about is a brand new song that we are just now working into the band, and it is called Die by the Sword, and it has those chord bends in it that I really like to use, and it goes like this. So again, same thing. I just really like to do those chord bends. All right, another kind of riff that really makes up who I am because I use it a lot are half-step riffs. And what I mean by that is, for example, again, the Woman in Me. So, like this. So those half steps right there, I love those. They're so Toni Iommi. And so is the next thing, the trill, which was going to be the next thing I was going to tell you about I use trills a lot. I have 2 examples of that also, but they're more solo-y type of things. So I have 2 songs with that example in there for you. And again, I'm Alive. So the beginning of the guitar solo. But with that being said, moving on to my solos, there are some things that I do repeatedly, just like almost every guitar player, that I picked up along the way, got attached to, and I do them a lot. So one of the things that I do, I guess I would call it, is a staccato bend. And I use that quite a lot. The first example of that is a song I wrote called Overdose that we did in 𝕷𝖊𝖔𝖓 𝖆. And I start the guitar solo with one of those staccato bends. And it just goes like this. So again, I do that a lot. Another example of that is in Cursive Love guitar solo. And yet another one in a song called Taste of Honey. I think I get those staccato things from my Angus Young influence, which brings me right into the next riff that I repeat a lot, and that's a little lead guitar thing. I use that kind of stuff all the time. Another one in I'm Alive. It's just that. So on these 2 top strings, I use that so much. And last but not least, scrapes. I use them a lot. Again, I'm Alive as another example. That solo actually has almost everything that I always do. The half steps, the trills, the double note bends, and the scrapes. But a really cool, kind of eerie kind of scrape I like to do is on the high E string, and it's just a very, very light touch, and I use it in Play Like the Devil. Oh, and then I have to throw in the one very last thing, and I use it at the end of New Orleans, and it is so Toni Iommi. You're gonna know it as soon as you hear it. It's such a simple little thing, but I think it just sounds so cool. And it's the beginning part of Iron Man where he just bends the low E string. I love that. I just think it's so cool. So I use that in New Orleans at the very, very end where I keep saying, I just slip away, I just slip away. And it's just like this. It's silly, but so cool. and I love it. Anyway, those are the riffs that make up me. I use them all the time in almost everything I do, and they just come natural. I really enjoyed showing you guys my favorite riffs today. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day.